Okay. So that what Jasz said is a great ending and segue into our first topic that we're going to talk today, which is freedom of speech. Okay, what does the first question I might ask with freedom of speech? What does it mean to you, freedom of speech? How much freedom is freedom? I mean, we cannot give like total freedom, or else, like, people will start saying stupid shit. But then,
True.
I believe that people saying stupid shit is the byproduct of freedom of speech, because if we allow freedom of speech to the intelligent, we also have to allow freedom of speech to the stupid asshole
and the belligerents. Yeah.
Which country actually gives total freedom of speech to its people though?
Is there any? I would like to ask you, cause since you're the researcher and all that stuff.
Don't say America.
No, because America has the First Amendment, but even then there is some limits, like hate speech. Wait, is hate speech illegal in America? I think it is.
Depends on where you are, I think.
You can't talk about bombing people. You can't talk about there's certain things.
So that qualifies as hate speech, I think, right?
Don't make jokes on the airport.
Yeah, something like that. Hate speech and anything that threatens. Yeah, so even America does not have total freedom.
No, you can't threaten the president or whatever. You can say bad things about them, but you can't say that I'm going to go bomb the. See, I'm not going to even say it.
Oh, you can't.
Okay.
Hello, police.
Yes.
Wait, you can't? I thought you can. I thought America anything goes.
There are limits. Hate speech is
you
hate
can,
speech
but
is
if up to a certain limit where they actually have to take you seriously, then they will bust you for it.
If I'm not mistaken, even the N-word is considered hate speech in America. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah,
because like if you're
Yes,
white and you're if you're not a person of color, especially if you're not from like the black community, and just say the N-word, then you're
like you are liable to be charged. I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not so well.
I think it's depending on which state you're in. Yeah, some states actually like
maybe.
Yes,
State rights over federal. Yeah, state rights over federal.
Someone will witch hunt you anyways, if you ever do something like that.
Yeah.
Well, there's like the other issue, like in France about the Charlie Hebdo, and like the Prophet Muhammad's caricatures and all that.
I mean,
do you remember that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I thought like they didn't do anything much because there's nothing much you can do. What happened in that actually? The full story.
They were drawing cartoons of the Prophet.
Yeah, I know that. But what happened to the people who drew it? Nothing happened, right?
The office was attacked. I think. The office
they
was
got firebombed and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but was any action taken by the government?
No, I don't think.
Well, the French government said that it's freedom of speech, that people are allowed to do that.
Yeah, so that is some way freedom of speech. I mean, that's the bad side, freedom of speech lah. Tapi it is freedom of speech in France lah. So they can do that.
It's very hard to implement I think we all agree on this. It's hard to implement a pure freedom of speech because it's going to step on someone's toes. Someone's going to be passionate or something more. So if any of us here are religious, it's going to be a touchy topic.
I would argue it's easier to be full authoritarian.
Why?
Yeah, you just block lah. Like you prevent someone from saying this, instead of okay, you're free to speak.
But
which is like, I think, get what I mean?
No, it's freedom of speech, but it's conditional freedom of speech.
Yeah, but if the problem with that, right, when you give power to someone to block certain speeches, certain issues, then they would misuse the power, especially in Malaysia. The misuse of power is like,
oh wow,
absolutely. They know it like at the back of their hands, man.
Yeah, because then it'll be like North Korea, right? Like it's different. It'll be absolute totalitarian, right?
Yeah,
it's very dangerous. It's a slippery slope. If you start giving such powers, it can be abused. That's the reason why democracy is a thing. You don't want a
you don't want a single party
style
politics or anything along those lines.
I think in Malaysia the first rule is that you can't like say bad things about the 3R, which is like what, race, religion, royalty. If I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
Race, religion, and I forgot.
Yeah.
Is it 3R?
Race is a bit questionable because I mean we still do it either as a joke or I mean
Yeah, but if the minute you touch on royalty, whoo!
Because the royalty thing is very specific, you know. And also there's this ingrained belief that the royals are kind of, I would say,
Untouchable?
not divine. Divine is the wrong word to use. You know, that kind of,
They're close to
untouchable,
divine.
Yeah, close to divine. Ordained by divine command.
Yeah, that's why they call it
Yeah.
Daulat
Yeah.
Tunku. Yeah.
Yeah, which is ironic because we get our royalty system from Hinduism.
Okay, hold on. On
Yeah.
this part, right? On this part, when we enter into the one of the R, which is the royalty,
Yeah.
I say that watch yourself, okay? Because if we just go into life and we're talking about this and they understand it the wrong way, then I'll see you in Damwangi, yeah, okay?
I'll leave that to you to edit out whatever needs to be edited out. You
Yeah.
know, like right now we're just speaking our mind and. But
Yeah.
for now, I don't think we've said anything too controversial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
think we're doing good.
the thing
As
is-
much as
sorry,
as much as
continue.
we want to talk about freedom of speech, it's like royalty is specific. So if you say anything bad about the sultans and all, then that's on you. But like for race and religion, we still do it until today. So
it's
I mean,
a
it's to
very
the point. It's to the point that we're currently living in stable tension. You know, like
No, but you
That's-
see, if you do make these kind of remarks, you are liable to be charged. It is in the law. See.
You see, like we're talking about freedom of speech, but look at how all of us are reacting. We're all being really careful about what we say.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there is freedom and there's also the lack of it.
yeah.
There's also and it's always this like weird fine line because people talk about why can't we joke about stuff like this anymore?
True.
Like a lot of prominent comedians talk about this. On one hand, I'm okay for those jokes. I'm Christian, and if you make jokes about Christianity, that's on you. You know, you disrespect my religion, that's on you. It's not going to affect me. But it's not many people have this view, and the controversy will keep rolling. It always snowballs, and more so when it touches, like say, race and religion. Let's not touch royalty because we all know that's enshrined and that's definitely no go. But race and religion, you're not touching one. You can start an angry mob very fast within the three religion.
Okay, using freedom of speech as a context. Okay, let's go to something that's not so controversial. Okay, so this happened in like the main group, like the secret society, for the second secret society. Like there was this post, like one of the mods posted about like Maggie, and like it's technically not about Maggie, but the entire haiku is about one admin being the best admin, and then like yeah. So the thing is, like there was this one trigger happy person saying like, oh, I don't eat Maggie because of the taste of flavor. I eat Maggie because it reminds me of my parents' sweat, blah 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 blah. And okay, that's totally valid. If you eat Maggie because you have sentimental attachments, fine. So to which another one of our members commented, okay, but it's just noodles and seasoning. And for some bloody reason, that member gets attacked left and right because people are saying like he's inconsiderate, he doesn't care about poverty. Hello, it's literally just instant noodles, and that, like, it shows how like some people don't take a joke.
It's mob mentality. You know, you just need somebody with a pitchfork and a torch, right? And then next thing you know,
because like okay, I know the post sounds like especially to that dude who's like simping over Maggie. Like the post sounds offensive to him apparently because like the Maggie's like, why do you eat your Maggie soggy? Why do you eat it dry? Blah blah blah. But technically that post was just like a haiku for the first words. Like we're supposed to actually focus on the first letter of each stanza. But this dude's like, oh, I eat Maggie because of the sentimental value of poverty where it distinguishes blah 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 blah. And just because this one dude says, okay, but it's just noodles and seasoning, this dude, like the commenter, the main commenter, started a whole fight about how he's inconsiderate about poverty, how he doesn't mingle with poor people, how he's a T20 kid, like, what?
That went very far.
Yeah.
Very far.
Yeah, but I think Maggie made the list of the things you cannot attack in Malaysia. Number one is royalty, of course.
Which is ironic.
Number one is
Since
royalty.
Maggie isn't even Malaysian,
Number two is Siti Nurhaliza. Number 3 is Lee Chong Wei.
Well, Siti Nurhaliza, what?
Number 2
Yeah,
is
why
Siti Nurhaliza. Yeah, you cannot talk bad about Siti Nurhaliza. People will beat you up.
No, I think that's like the previous generation.
Yeah, that
This generation is like whole different.
number 3 is Lee Chong Wei, of course. Number 4 is Burger Ramli, and number 5 is Maggie.
Wow.
So that's the 5 things you cannot attack in Malaysia. The last 2 is Burger Ramli and Maggie. That is how essential food is to Malaysia.
Maggie is not even Malaysian.
Yeah,
I
that's
know,
even
but
Malaysian.
come on, Carl, stop saying that.
Milo's not
People get
ours
hurt.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
so
but for some reason, if you were to diss Milo, like if you say Milo sucks, right, you're gonna get attacked with like pitchforks by probably paint guns, whatever.
Alright, so we put in Milo. We put in Milo in
see
there.
whether we get a mob.
Unpopular opinion, I hate Milo, right? Just type that in the... type that in
Oh,
the-
Carl, you digging your
Yeah.
grave.
No, for the record, I do love Milo.
No, I mean if you put that in the secret society, then I'll be the first one to comment. Ooh.
No, anyone watching...
From popcorn.
Anyone watching, for the record, I do love Milo. It's the only sweet drink I drink. Besides that, I just drink water, you know. No, I'm not even lying about that.
Oh, you don't. That starts a whole other fight. Oh, you don't drink Nestle, you don't drink Kopi C. Shame on you.
They bought it all.
sometimes,
You hate the mama.
I mean, sometimes sweet coffee, you know, but like, no, Milo is great, man. I love Milo.
Yeah, but that is Malaysian in a nutshell, you know. That's why we are like number 1 in cyberbullying, or is it number 2? Number 1.
Number one, I think.
The
Number one in
recent one
Asia.
is Ukraine.
Asia.
I think
Yeah.
No, I think we're first in like Asian countries.
number 1 something at least.
Yeah, well done,
I swear
Malaysia.
to God. It's keyboard warriors.
Yeah, so I think that is just
Just look at
Malaysian
the
nature.
recent gold medalist
Yeah.
gold medalist lost to Ukraine, and who remembers the crispy chicken rendang or like the British
Yeah.
Airway nasi lemak issue?
Or like how our neighboring countries claim ownership to nasi goreng.
But yeah, we kind of hate each other. We live off each other's resentment. You just need to go to Singapore. Your stuff sucks, and they're like, look at our currency value. You all suck.
Oh yeah, no, Singaporeans are so okay with it because they know they're better, right?
And we secretly don't know that.
No, because
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of Singaporean friends, and they all, whenever I say, you know, Malaysian food is way better than Singapore, and then I post all these memes like shitting on Singaporean food and all this, and then they'll be like, yeah, you're right. That's okay with it. That's okay with it.
They pick a fight because they can. I don't think I know Singaporeans who are like, we come over for your food, so no one's going to complain.
Bruh, I mean,
that's busy making money.
there's
Exactly.
Singaporeans, and there's also the Indonesians that will get super salty if you were to talk about like nasi goreng.
Oh, Indonesians are more salty.
Disclaimer to whoever's watching this: I am half Indonesian. Don't attack me. I have Indonesian blood in me. Mom, I need your support anyways. Like, so, speaking of which, yeah. Some Indonesians do get extremely salty. Like, I mean, at one point we had that entire argument where like Indonesia tried to claim like what nasi goreng USA and like blah 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 blah. So
I just see that as a means of like memeing and just being annoying to each other.
I mean, first of all, fried rice has its origins in Yangzhou in China, right? Isn't that the story?
yeah.
So no, I don't see the claim really. But yeah, Indonesians they've got like, this is like branching a bit into football. They've got the worst football fans in the region.
Yeah, but
They have pretty toxic players as well. I mean, when it comes to like, you know, online games.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Isn't that the
WK,
Filipinos?
imagine
I mean,
the
I think like the title was between like the Philippines and like the Indonesians. Again, disclaimer: I am half Indonesian. Okay, all you Indon people, don't attack me.
I avoid Southeast Asia server in general because someone will start screaming in our language and then you're like, I don't understand them, and you know they're being toxic. And you're like, nope, out. I'd rather play in like maybe an Aussie server or even lag, go to a US server.
There's
It's a little bit more
toxic
peaceful.
players everywhere, but like the ones that you know.
I think we're talking about frequency now, right? Frequency of these things happening.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
an example of freedom of speech, right? You can
Yeah, wait.
like you do it because you can.
Yeah, but the thing is, right? I was about to go into like the journalism part of freedom of speech, but before that, I wanted to acknowledge with Carl that the online gamers in Southeast Asia are toxic, but one of the most toxic person is actually our own teammate
Oh yeah.
Oh my god. He's like the worst. He starts the whole.
I mean, you count as one of them too.
Oh yeah, I am toxic, but I am angry toxic. Ray is just toxic for no reason. He just goes on like say Taiwan #1 and then Taiwan #1 to Chinese players.
Wait, is it trolling or is it just?
Yeah, it's just trolling.
Mainly trolling.
Yeah, I mean to us it could be trolling, but to other people it'd be like, oh, racism, nationalism.
Yeah.
But you should look at some of the things you type to people.
Oh yeah, I am toxic. Seriously, I am toxic. Like I am the anger toxic kind of person when I play.
Like he loses it. He loses control.
Yeah, I lose control.
Oh, that guy needs anger management. If that's the case.
Yeah, it's just like
it's just a game, bro. It's just a game.
Ul-
Like you go to sleep
ultimately.
and life goes on.
yeah, but it's just a spur of the moment. I bet I'll be like that in Parliament as well. Like if I ever get to Parliament.
Oh my god.
I will call what Bukit Bintang, you're an asshole.
Hey, it's really happening now in Parliament. If you look at what they're doing,
Tarik balik.
Yeah, okay.
Hormat.
Yeah, going back to our topic, freedom of speech. Would you think freedom of speech will be empowered if we actually empower the journalists to write more freely? Because I know that a lot of the newspapers in Malaysia are like they are all backed by political parties. Like even the Star is backed by MCA, is what they say lah. I mean, I cannot prove it. Sorry, police. I cannot prove it. But then that's what they say, and I think it's true. So should we, if we are ever to fix freedom of speech, should we fix that first, Carl? I'm talking to you first because you are technically a journalist yourself.
Fix.
Fix the freedom of speech in journalism. Let them write more freely and let them write themselves. Like what I heard from other journalists is that whenever they go to a press conference of like government press conference, they are actually being told what to write. They're being given statements and everything.
So when you write a news story, there's always this fine balance between what is accurate and what sells.
Sellable.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's always going to be that balance that you have to achieve, So I do believe that media should be impartial as much as possible, but then again I do understand the fact that they do have to make certain things more clickbaity, otherwise I won't get paid kind of thing.
More sensational.
Yeah, there's always got to be. There's always got to be certain things that are catered towards grabbing the excitement, grabbing the attention of people, because otherwise they won't even see it in the first place.
Yeah, true. But okay, let's say if they're going to make it sensational, at least make it true. Is that too much to ask?
Truth and lies are subjective.
Yes, it is subjective. Depending where you look at it, like a 6 could be a 9, depending on where you stand.
Like Obi-Wan said, it's from a certain point of view.
Yeah. Okay. So, but what do you think of the Malaysian newspaper and journalism in a glimpse, Jasz?
I think newspapers exist to sell themselves, because newspapers, their main bread and butter isn't from the news; it's from advertising. So the more traffic they get, is the more advertising revenue they generate. Therefore, they need to be as clickbaity as possible to get people to come and read.
It's on purpose. It's definitely on purpose. Like the Stars, I believe I called it out twice on their Facebook. It's like what they say is true. It's the way they say it. You will see the other way. It's a very clever way to make people be pissed, be annoyed about it, to react to it, because the title is extremely controversial, but when you click into it, it's fully explained what it actually is, and they're sitting there like, what the hell is this?
Yeah, and then you can see people arguing in the Facebook comments about like, oh, what the fuck is going on? And then you can tell that they didn't even read the article.
Yeah, especially because people are like, TLDR, right? Like, fuck this, and then they see that, and then they get instantly angry.
Yeah, and then like on journalism as well, because like 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 what Carl and Jasz said, like they write what they can sell because like ultimately it's profit. They're aiming for profits. At the same time, I think I've called out New Straits Times a couple of times because like there was once where they added they wrote like the title of their tabloid, which was they said something about like drunk driving and like how like drunk drunk men blah 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 blah, and then like the picture was specifically an Indian guy who's just walking out of a store, which then like instead like
hiasan, gambar hiasan semata-mata they put there.
And then that's why like all of us like like my friends and I, we started calling them out like what the fuck is this? It's not even related. Like the accident is about like the accident and the drunk driving involved like other people, but then they used a picture that's not even related to it.
And
like,
you know they can get away with it too.
Yeah. And it's like and like like the reason why like some political parties like back up these newspapers because they want to like make themselves look good or like they want to be painted in a good light. I mean takkan you want to like pay a company okay, here's like some money, here's like money for you guys to keep up your business only for you to read that they're talking shit about you, takkan, right?
Yeah, but one of the things that I hate that Malaysian news does, especially the Malay papers, right? Whenever there's an accident, like lelaki Cina melanggar blah 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 blah, and then if like there's like a dua perompak India, I mean like why don't they say perompak and someone got into accident? Don't have to say China or India.
I don't really blame them. It's just
I mean it sells lah.
Every time you see an accident, it's like, oh my gosh, is that Chinese? Yeah, drunk. Or is it Indians like confirm drunk? Malay like maybe not drunk.
But that's toxic though.
It is, but it's how Malaysians generally look at things.
But we can change. But they see these things are actually perpetuating that cycle. Perpetuating this racism.
Exactly. Exactly. That's exactly what I meant. I mean, like, okay, fine. That guy happened to be like in an accident before drunk driving because he's Chinese, but you don't have to write about it. I mean,
you don't have to say race. You don't have to say race in general.
It's not relevant.
It's not relevant.
You're about to say something, Carl?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay. So that's one thing I hate about these newspapers. I mean, like, if something happened to someone, just say something happened to someone. Don't have to say something happened to someone Malay, something happened to someone Indian. And like, okay, what does that have to do with anything? You know what I mean?
It sells. It's still the issue. It sells. We buy into. We as a country buy into this sort of crap. It's because it still sells. It's not only belonging to the Malay. It belongs to the Chinese and Indians too. Every time something happens, we're gonna ask, what race are? And then all the stereotypes will come in that does it fit to this box?
I think that could change.
Yeah,
I really think that could change. But
could.
The media is perpetuating this cycle, and I think that cycle needs to be broken. And if there's more regulations put in place, or if more people call them out on it, maybe things will change.
I agree. And also one more thing, I was about to say about I forgot. Thank you for reminding me, Nicholas. That remember that before GE14, Utusan Malaysia was going all out on being racist. Like there's even one headline that reads "Apa Cina Mau," I mean, like, what the fuck are you?
I remember.
Right,
the Chinese tsunami, right?
Yes, and then right after the election, they got burned for it. They went bankrupt. I mean, that says something about the Malaysian people, because we can wake up and think like, okay, we can actually see from the headlines and whatever that this shit got to go,
Yeah. Like, what century are we in? Like, it's 2021. Why are we still playing race politics? Why are we still in the racial card? Why are we still stereotyping people?
It's a very hard cycle to break. I'm not to say it's unbreakable. The thing is, we buy it. The politicians play it, and if the politicians play against it, they'll be in trouble for it. A new group will come up and take over to pander to this. It's a very, very horrible cycle.
Yeah, I agree.
And as for us Malaysians, we know the shit. We know how to call it out. We know how to fight against it. And this group of people are growing. The younger generation are seeing this, and it's not only that. The older generation are starting to see this as you're being really stupid. And more so with the current political turmoil. You see how people talk about it. They're like, we don't care. We just want this in politics. We don't care what's happening or who's going to be up there. Just fix the damn problem. We are evolving as a nation, but it's
Too slow. Too slow.
it is always too slow.
Yeah, but the thing is,
Even when PH came to power, I still thought we would take, even my gen, maybe I wouldn't even get to see the country change. It's a long systemic issue. It's going to take forever to change, but if we don't keep at it,
You don't have a chance, yeah.
like,
no one's going to see it.
yeah, but
That's why we should stop. We should stop perpetuating this. We should call them out
Yeah.
every time
Yeah.
we do this race thing, right? You know, oh, accidents, blah 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 blah. Okay, I get it. Accidents are sensational. People want that, especially in this kind of time of turmoil, right? Panem et circenses, right? Which is bread and circuses. When fucking Rome is burning down, what do they want? They want gladiator combat. They want bread, free bread. That's what they want, right? Because it's sensational. It takes people's minds off the actual fact that fucking Rome is burning, right? But we can change this. We need to call out everybody that plays the race card. We need to call out everybody that plays the race stereotype. We need to call out our parents. We need to call out, whoever. We can make a change.
It's a long fight. You might not see the day, but it's going to be a long fight.
It doesn't
I think
matter.
we can. Yes.
yeah, but the
Yeah,
thing
it
is,
doesn't-
I remember
we
like
need to do it.
sorry, Nicola, I
Sorry,
didn't hear it. So I remember like a few days ago, I was asked to talk in Muda Bangi to talk about there was the Merdeka talking about racism, and even though we're not supposed to. Our main topic is freedom of speech, but then we already ventured in a little bit. So in that talk, I did say that okay, racism is a huge problem in Malaysia, but then you have to look at it at this point of view that it happened before the British, and then during the British, which is like 400 years of brainwashing of racism, and then it comes about to 1957 when we were independent from Britain, right? So the amount of time we are fighting racism to the amount of time our people are spent like being brainwashed into being racist is still very
I'll
short.
come back.
Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
Should we wait or what?
No,
I'll just
keep talking.
finish the story.
Yeah.
So the amount of time we spend fighting racism compared to being taught to be a racist is actually very small. We've only been fighting racism for like 50 years, give or take, 50, 70 years, but we've been taught to be a racist for more than 400 years. So it takes some time, but the point is that the newspaper should stop doing this kind of shit because
Absolutely.
yes, because it is perpetuating the problem, Alright, so I think we're going to take a short break here while we wait for Nicholas to come back.
Heavy topics, man.
Yep.
I thought we were going to talk about Star Wars.
We're going to talk about Star Wars and Marvel DCs in
Marvel and
next.
DC, right?
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that. I think that is a much more heavy topic. So we're going to take a break while we wait for Nicholas to come back,
Alright.
or Vincent.